Hi, I'm Shannon McKenna-Schmidt from NovelDestinations.com. I'm here in the Scottish border country at Abbotsford, the home of 19th century novelist Sir Walter Scott. He called it his conundrum castle. He oversaw the design and construction of the house and the gardens, pouring as much imagination into them as he did into his adventure stories like Ivanhoe and Rob Roy. And I'm certainly not the first traveler to visit here. It's one of the oldest literary museums, opened in 1833. Nathaniel Hawthorne and Charlotte Bronte are two of the famous figures who've paid a visit here, along with royalty. So come on, let's go follow in Queen Victoria's footsteps and have a look around. Although Scott had a day job as a lawyer, Abbotsford was financed largely with proceeds from his popular writing. The entry hall is a dramatic welcome to Scott's domain. Standing sentry are two full suits of armor, one of which is from the 16th century. Scott was an avid collector of historic relics, and among the items on display in the entry hall are ones he personally picked up on the battlefield at Waterloo, and a clock that belonged to Marie Antoinette. In the armory, Scott proudly displayed even more weaponry, including a broadsword that belonged to Rob Roy, the famous Scottish outlaw who features in one of his novels. Also here is a bunch of keys said to be those to Loch Leven Castle, thrown into a lake after Mary, Queen of Scots, escaped the fortress. Sir Walter Scott's study was his private domain. "No person shall be admitted into my sanctum, and I can have the door locked during my absence," he said. It's no longer off limits, and visitors can take in the literary ambiance. A spiral staircase leads to a gallery lined with bookshelves. There's also a private entrance that led to Scott's dressing room so he could escape from unwanted callers. He wrote many of his literary works at this desk. When Nathaniel Hawthorne visited, already famous for The Scarlet Letter and other novels, a servant invited him to sit in Scott's chair, telling him, "Perhaps you may catch some inspiration." A couple of thousand books are housed in the study, but the majority of Scott's 9,000-volume collection is in the spacious library. The intricately molded ceilings are modeled on Scotland's 15th century Roslin Chapel, which modern-day readers might recognize as a landmark in Dan Brown's novel The Da Vinci Code. The library is my favorite room in the house. A book lover could spend hours looking at Scott's collection. The most elegant room in Abbotsford is the drawing room with brightly colored, hand-painted Chinese wallpaper. One item in this room that caught my eye is a large silver urn, given to Scott by the poet Lord Byron. After Scott became too ill to climb the stairs in his final days, his bed was moved into the dining room and placed in front of the large picture windows. The last view he saw was this one, of his beloved estate. After taking a tour of Scott's Conundrum Castle, you can stroll through the wild-looking kitchen garden and the elegant Morris garden with its stone archways and red roses named after a character in Rob Roy. Also on the grounds, you can picnic, hike along a woodland trail and meet some locals, enjoy a view of the River Tweed, or maybe even do something more adventurous. Thank you for visiting Abbotsford with me. If you'd like more suggestions for literary adventures, pick up a copy of the book Novel Destinations or visit NovelDestinations.com. Enjoy your literary adventures.